Hello and welcome. I hope you're doing all you can to help the most vulnerable people in the world. In today's exciting episode, I do a little bit on three different things. So a little bit on the aqua floral, a little bit on the cherry mosaic, and I get out something completely new. And yeah, I haven't quite finished it, but it is looking rather fabulous. It's possible I went a little bit overboard with this beading, just a little bit.
It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect jacket.
Okay, now that I'm actually looking at the footage, I started with the cherry mosaic. I had a little bit too, I was overdoing the hanging flowers for the aqua floral jacket. So I decided to do the relatively simpler beading of the cherry mosaic, where you just stitch on one bead, stitch on another bead, stitch on, instead of stringing a whole lot onto one string and then sort of threading that. So this is me going back and showing you what it looked like last time you saw it. So it was still a little bit gappy on the one side of the front, and there's still whole sections here where you can see the underlying cotton print with the white wavy bits and the pink. So yeah, and I am going to do a design detail on the back. I originally, for a while, I had flowers on there, these gorgeous vintage 1960s, 1970s looking pink and red flowers, but I've taken them off very carefully, and because I found more of them, so there's enough to do sort of sprinkle them all over the shoulders, like the top third of a different jacket. So I'm going to do that, I think, or I don't know. I still have the brooch jacket to do. So, and this is me just showing you all the bits that I still haven't done. There's lots of, like, look at this sleeve now, and I'm about to show you what it looks like once I've done more work. And it's just, well, to me, it's incredible. Whoopsie. Almost dropped the mannequin. It's quite the challenge, like holding the camera, shooting, like filming, and trying to turn the mannequin around at the same time. I should probably put it on one of the mannequins that stands on the floor, and then just walk around it. But anyway, this mannequin is the best size, like size-wise. The other ones are a little bit smaller, which makes it easier to get the dresses on them. But this is the more accurate size. My bust isn't as big as this one, and my chest isn't as caved. So there's not as big a difference between the upper bust, your underarm measurement, it's called the upper bust, and the actual bust. But it's the best fit for my jackets. And this is me showing you that I've started doing the edging on the second sleeve. So you do every second bead around the whole of the edge of the cuff, and then you go back. Once every second bead's done, you go back and you fill in all the gaps, and that's how you get a nice full edge where you can't see any of the white bits. So I've already done the torso, I've already done one sleeve. And see, this sleeve here is much more filled in than it was. And the whole of the back, I mean, it's certainly not done yet. But, it's more done than it was. I was thinking about maybe leaving the design feature on the back as negative space so you could see what the original pattern was, but I don't like that. I think I will probably just do either red beads, solid red, or maybe red shiny sequins. I'm not sure. And then this is me showing you the other jacket. I hadn't done any of these little green blobs last time you saw it, I don't think. So I've just started adding them. I was originally, when I did the first two or three sample ones, I used shorter bugle beads, the little long beads in between each flower, but then I found some longer ones and I think they work better. So now I just have to do little green bunches around the whole of the thing, and they sort of, I'm not sure you can tell exactly, but they tie in, they match the leaves of the flower prints all over the jacket. So yeah, at this point I'm trying to decide which one I should take off the mannequin, which of the two jackets I should take off the mannequin and continue work on. This one it's got a lot more obvious bits where it still needs beading work. So I think, that I filmed this way back at the start of the week. So, and I've done quite a lot since then. So, oh, that's right. I'm like getting out all my beads and sorting them into boxes of different colors so I can find everything. And I found these black beads that all sort of fallen out of their bag. So it's a mix of all different sizes, but essentially all of them are black. And I was thinking the next time I do one of these mosaic jackets, I'll make a black felt jacket because I've got some black felt, and I'll do lots of extra layers of structure in the back, lots of netting, so it can support quite a bit of weight. And the whole thing will just be jet black beads. It's going to be fabulous. And now that this cherry mosaic is I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It may actually be finished this month. So I've decided that because it sort of looks sparkly like a Judith Lieber purse, and Judith Lieber designs are very New York. They're iconically New York for a long time. I think they were only her handbags, her little clutches were only sold in New York, like in department stores in New York City. So that's going to be my New York one for my Make 9. And this is me deciding that I really need a break from using beading needles, which are these teeny tiny needles. And I'm just going to do something that requires me to hand sew still, but using a regular size sewing needle because they're just more sturdy and much more easy to use. It doesn't require infinite concentration. So I had this one on the rack. I love this tweed. It's this complex mix of loads of different textures, and there's strings of tulle in there, there's yarn, there's loads of different things. Anyway, I decided I was going to work on that one, but then I happened to, I was putting all the I filmed all these reels ages ago, and I've just had them there for when I've run out of stuff. So I programmed them, and you sort of have to schedule them in all different times. So this plain jacket here, sort of tealy blue one with the pink roses on it, happened to come up as I was scheduling them all, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that jacket. Maybe I should bead that one instead. So I got out more mess, and I got out this jacket, and I just decided I'd do a little sample bead because I had, as I said, I've been moving the beads around. So I found all these really pretty pale pink beads. I just happened across them. And then I also found some sea foam and some teal ones. And I was like, oh my gosh, I should use them on this jacket. And there's also a few green ones in there. And I was like, well, maybe they won't all go, but we'll see how many of them I got in there. So anyway, I managed to shoehorn literally every one of the beads that I got out to choose from. I managed to put them all in. Oh, this is me showing you that because there's such a long strand of beads, I have to use 4 threads of 4 bits of thread, and it's doubled over, so it's really 8 bits of thread. And as I said, I'm using a standard size, it's long, but it's a standard width sewing needle. And yeah, they're beautifully hung, the beads. And so this is me just admiring this gorgeous rose print. It's so pretty. It's sort of a denim-y teal colour. It's absolutely adorable. So I decided that I like my sample. So as I've done, if you've seen any of my other beading fringes, I tend to do at least two different types of fringe. So this is the first type, and then I'll go back along later and use the other half of the beads. So yeah, there's something a little bit Egyptian about the neckline on this one. I do think if I had my time again, I probably should have used a shorter design because, this is me just showing you that the front center bits may not look like the same design, but it's just the exact same design around the whole of the torso of the jacket. And it does look a little bit gappy, but once I've done the second design, it will fill in and it will look better. The neckline in particular, because it's round, like it's a circle, not a straight line, it always looks a little bit more gappy. So I'm going to do a double set of that. So it's going to have 4 rows of beads, not just 2 rows of beads. And the drop sleeve shoulders, see how I've done beads around the top there? I end up doing 2 rows on each side, but I don't know, because the shoulder is off the shoulder, and to exacerbate this, I have the tiniest shoulders. So I'm not sure I like the beading on the shoulders. I like it, but I'm not sure it's going to sit well on my frame. I think it will work. The design looks good. I like it. And I think it would work on someone with average shoulders or even broad shoulders. I think it would look absolutely gorgeous. But I think on me, it's just going to look like, I borrowed grandma's caftan or something. I don't even have any grandmothers or a mother. But yeah, I just heard, I listened to someone, she's probably about my age, and her grandma just passed away, and she's obviously really sad about it. I was like, oh my gosh, you were an adult and you had, I forget that people have grandparents. Anyway, so it does look a little bit like a decorated caftan though, doesn't it? So this is me. So I had to do the beads on the shoulder first before I did the beads on the cuff, because it just would have been too difficult to get to the shoulder otherwise. So that's why I kind of had to decide straight away whether I was going to do beads on the shoulders or not. And at this point, I think it's really difficult to do I've done the first and the second rows now on this side, but I think on the other side I've still only done 1 row, and I've done the first row on here, and it looks really gappy because the kimono style sleeve is so big. I was like, I'll only do the outer half of the sleeve, but now looking at it, it just looks ridiculous. So I end up, it's tricky because you don't want to put too much weight at the bottom of a kimono style sleeve, but you also have to put some weight. So I think if I have my time again, I would probably do a modified shorter version. That pale pink vintage ladybug jacket that I did, and I did a modified shorter version of the beading around the sleeves. So it looks the same, the beading on the sleeves looks the same as the beading around the bottom of the jacket, but it's actually much shorter. I think I probably should have done that here. I guess I've only done that same section on the bottom of maybe I can take off what I've done and redo it. Oh, that does seem like a lot of work. Anyway, this is me saying that I've gathered all these pictures together because I kind of want to do some style episodes. Well, people have been asking me to do style episodes, and I love talking about style, so I was going to do that. And I've been listening to these podcasts from sort of people who have more average everyday senses of style. So yeah, because my idea of style is that, my idea of clothing is that it's never about the clothes. Whatever you're wearing, whatever people are attacking you about, it's never the clothes that they're attacking. It's like their problem is, their issues are with themselves and with what they perceive you to represent. So it's never about the clothes. But I love these sequins. I want to try and make flowers out of sequins and then do a whole jacket of all the different, samples. I think that'd be cool. And I love this ruffle skirt. I love skirts with ruffles on them, but every time there's a ruffle, you have to hem every individual ruffle. So if the whole skirt has 8 layers of ruffle, you have to essentially do 8 hems plus the real hem of the skirt. That's And I hate visible hems, so can't really use a machine to hem it. I mean, you could, but I don't like that. So I'd have to do all that by hand sewing. It's a lot of hand sewing, so I haven't done a ruffled skirt. I suppose you could do one with raw edges, but I don't know. Anyway, so this is me showing you that I haven't done any more, but I've on the bottoms of on the cuffs of the sleeves, but I have decided that I'm going to leave a tiny little bit on the inside of the sleeve where your arm can rest against your body without having beads hang down, but the rest of it. Oh, and I've done 3 layers around the top, so I've only got one more layer of beading to go around the top. This along the center front, there's still only 1 layer, and around the bottom on one side I've done the second layer of beading. You can tell it's got an opaque pink bead, whereas the first layer has a transparent pink bead, and it also has a sort of green or a teal pearl at the bottom as well. I think the two different designs mesh really well together, and if it's only 1 row, it just looks so gappy. I like the 2 rows. I was going to do 4 rows around the bottom, but I don't know. I think maybe the 2 rows might be enough. So I'll do the whole of the bottom with 2 rows, and then we'll go from there. And the sleeves, I might unpick what I've done, because I am really concerned about the weight of those kimono sleeves, because they're just so big. It's like doing the whole of the bottom of the jacket again. I'm not going to unpick the 2 rows I've done at the drop shoulder, like the shoulder bits, even though they are a little bit heavy. And as I said, I've done 3 of 4 layers around the neckline, and I think that looks adorable. It looks, it's, when they do those Egyptian beading outfits the designers do, and there's loads of beading around the neckline in, graded designs like that. That's what it reminds me of. Oh, and this is me deciding what design feature I'm going to do on the back. I love the flower, I love the floral print. I love the way it sits on the back of the jacket. So I think, my rainbow raindrops jacket that has the red, they're quite large, round red transparent sequins, and they're folded in half, and you can sort of see the rainbow raindrop designs through them, but you can also still very much see the red design feature. I think I'll do that on the back of this one, because some of the roses are a sort of a corally pink, so I think it'll tie in nicely, but also contrast. And so I think that's what I'm going to do. So yes, once again, I haven't finished anything, but I have done a lot of work. So I really like those 2 different designs of the beads. I think at some point I start trying to, because when I was filming this, there was really good light. It was early afternoon, and there was really good light, and you could see every single colour of each of the transparent beads in the fringe. So I tried to capture what give you a real feel of what it looks like in person. It doesn't translate. I always think the jackets look so much better in real life, but maybe that's just me admiring my own work. So there's still plenty of work to do on this one. Plenty of work to do on the cherry mosaic. But I haven't worked on this one it feels like forever, but in reality it's only been half a week. And it's just so pretty the way everything sort of sparkles as you slowly move. I love it. I can't wait to do an all black version. I think it's going to look fabulous. Oh, and this is me pointing out, when I was sorting through my beads, I came across those big cut glass beads. They're the ones that I'm going to use on the other New York jacket. I'm still going to do that other garbage bag jacket where I listened to this fashion podcast where they accidentally threw away this super, super expensive necklace. I'm trying to figure out how expensive, and this is me just showing you the other jackets of my Make 9s. So this is the fabric flower jacket. This is the remake of the Barbie 2.0. I can't remember if I decided that was something in my Make 9 or not. And then this is the foliage jacket, which is the forage jacket, which sort of has the wild berries on the back as the design feature. And that one is the vertical garden jacket. The cherry mosaic is going to be the Judith Lieber purse, which is New York City. And this one, I don't know if this is me trying to get you to see what the sunlight looks like through them. And then the aqua floral print one is the cottage garden. I'm not sure it's really very cottage gardeny, but we're going with it. I'm trying to get 8 out of my 9 Make 9s done so that I can spend, because I just feel like the brooch jacket, the vintage brooch jacket, is going to take forever. Oh, that's right. The Edinburgh jacket is another one that I have to do. And the Edinburgh Royal Botanic Gardens, they have this big wrought iron glass house. Like, it's massive. And the biggest of them, it's a cluster of like 5 or 7 different glass houses, and the biggest one is called the Palm House because it has these ginormous palm trees in it, and it's been closed for renovation for a couple of years, and it's almost finished now. It's going to reopen next year, but there's like starting at the stage where they're starting to put some plants back in and replant everything, because they had to like totally remake the wrought iron structure and replace all the glass and take out the trees that were too big and were damaging like the ceiling glass panels. So I thought I'd do another jacket that, well, it's not a floral jacket, it's just going to have foliage on it, but I've got sort of palm leaf ones, so I'll use them on it, and that can be my Edinburgh jacket. So if I do the other foliage jacket in September and finish all the ones that I'm working on also this month, then I'll have the whole of October and November to do all the design features on the back of the ones that I've Make 9s have already done. Plus, I'll be able to start from scratch with the vintage brooch jacket, make the jacket, try out samples for all the different brooches, decide on which the overall design, and then start doing the actual beading of all the brooch bits on the brooch jacket. The brooch jacket just seems like it's going to take forever. But I mean, every jacket kind of always seems like it's going to take forever until you start it. So I guess I'll just keep chipping away at things and hope for the best. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've got something out of this. Patience. Always be patient and chip away at things. Anyway, thanks again for watching and happy sewing. Oh, while I was making this teal and pink jacket, I remembered that I've got butterflies in sort of a bluish colour, greenish colour, which if you combine them would make teal, and pink. So I'm not going to use them on that one, but I might use the blue butterflies, green butterflies, and orange butterflies on the back of the floral one as the design feature instead of that orange net. Maybe. We shall see. Okay, really going now. Have a good week.